Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Widespread fog tonight, but a stormy afternoon on the way for Friday. We'll time out the storms and take a sneak peek at your weekend coming up.
Shots are fired in a home with children inside, and tonight we're learning it's a Detroit firefighter being questioned by police.
President Trump and Joe Biden on the same stage for the last time until Election Day. And it didn't take long for the two candidates to clash over the federal government's response to the coronavirus.
The president thus far and still has no plan.
We can't close up our nation.
Good to have you with us tonight at 11. A much different debate than what we saw the first time the two candidates got together last month in Cleveland.
That's right. For the first time in a presidential debate, microphones were muted to reduce interruptions at the beginning of each of the segments. But there were still plenty of heated moments. Alice Barr is in Nashville with the latest.
In their final debate and last chance to reach tens of millions of voters at once, President Trump and Democrat Joe Biden waging a war of words and ideals.
If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
The idea that the stock market is booming is his only measure of what's happening.
Biden tried to prosecute the case that President Trump has failed to protect the country from the COVID pandemic that's claimed more than 220,000 American lives and sickened the president himself.
This is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter last time. This is the same fellow who told you that, don't worry, we're going to end this by the summer. We're about to go into a dark winter.
Say we're learning to live with it. We have no choice. We can't lock ourselves up in a basement like Joe does.
Learning to live with it. Come on. We're dying with it.
It's not my fault that he came here. It's China's fault.
Hanging over the debate tonight, new reports that Iran and Russia are trying to influence the election.
They will pay a price if I'm elected. They're interfering with American sovereignty.
There has been nobody tougher on Russia than Donald Trump.
The president tried to shift attention to Biden's son Hunter and unverified claims about his business dealings.
His son, his brother, and his other brother are getting rich.
There's a reason why he's bringing up all this malarkey. There's a reason for it. He doesn't want to talk about the substantive issues. It's not about his family and my family. It's about your family.
A climactic showdown between the president and the man seeking to unseat him in less than 2 weeks. In Nashville, Tennessee, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And there's a lot to unpack from tonight's debate. Grant Herms and the Local 4 Trust Index team are fact-checking right now. And tomorrow morning, Grant will be joining Local 4 News Today to separate fact from fiction, getting started at 5 a.m.
Finally, a night off from the rain here, but it won't stay dry very long. Ben, you're tracking storms moving in tomorrow, but also some temperatures in the 70s.
Yes, everything tomorrow is going to be quick, so don't blink, Kim, you're going to miss it. The temperatures in the 70s will be quick and the storms will be quick, and then it's back to regular fall after that. But let's get you caught up on where that stuff is now. It's out to the west. You can see that line. It's going to be a while before it gets here, probably about 3 o'clock before we have to deal with it. But you'll see a fairly thin line in the west zone at 3 p.m. and then moving at about 50 miles per hour. So it's going to be cooking at a good clip. It'll be on the east side at 6 o'clock. Anything after that, not necessarily strong, but we will be seeing some scattered showers that'll take us to midnight beyond that. Now, as far as how strong those storms are going to be, the roughest stuff will remain to the south. Parts of Monroe still in that marginal risk. But what we're expecting to see are these temperatures spiking into the low 70s. You see it there just before 5 p.m. and then crashing into the 30s behind that front as we get into Saturday morning. But those warmer temperatures, they are going to lead to the possibility of seeing some strong storms. But I'll tell you, out there right now, we have got tons of fog. Visibilities are down to 0 in spots with temperatures in the 50s. Everything will improve as far as visibility in the morning, and then we start turning our attention to the storms. We'll talk more about the severe potential for those and what the weekend holds coming up in just a few minutes. Guys?
All right, Ben. Now tonight, an on-duty Detroit firefighter is a suspect in a shooting that happened on Detroit's west side.
One man is in the hospital in critical condition, with police still trying to unravel exactly what happened. Mara McDonald is live at Engine 9 on the city's east side. And Mara, that's where he was assigned today.
Well, Kimberly, here is what sources are telling us, that this veteran firefighter was here at work. He gets a text from a woman that he's involved with, and he leaves, and it went downhill from there. Sources say that veteran firefighter rushed to this home on Barton Street. Originally, police were told intruders were trying to break into this home, but now everything is up in the air.
There's a lot of conflicting reports in this. All the parties that are involved in this are being detained and being questioned.
What we do know, the woman who sent the text lives here. That firefighter came and words were exchanged between her, him, and 2 other adult men inside who are all known to each other. In addition, police tell us there were 3 children in the home at the time. Tensions got heated, and then a source says the firefighter is being accused of shooting one of the men in the head. He is currently in critical condition. There are divergent stories about what happened after the shooting. Sources say that firefighter left the scene and went back to his firehouse, where he was later taken in for questioning by police. The official word out of DPD tonight is simply that a city worker is being detained and questioned in connection to a critical shooting.
There is a city employee that is possibly involved in here, so it falls under major case, and our homicide task force handles a lot of the major cases in the city of Detroit. They are the entity investigating right now.
Back here live, DPD is trying to unravel exactly what went down here today. We do know that a weapon was recovered at the scene. As far as the firefighter implicated in all of this, guys on the department say he's a good guy, well liked. We're live on Detroit's East Side. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Yeah, a lot of questions still remain, though. Okay, Mara, thank you.
State of Michigan reporting 1,873 new cases of COVID-19.
43 more people have died from the virus, and that number includes 31 deaths found in a review of records. Today's headlines: cases continue to climb across the country, with 7 states setting new daily records for COVID cases. In Chicago, beginning tomorrow, the city is ordering all bars, restaurants, and non-essential businesses to close by 10 p.m. The guidelines also call for everyone in the city to avoid social gatherings of more than 6 people, with a nightly curfew in effect from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The new restrictions come as Chicago is reporting an average of 645 new cases during the past week.
The owner of 2 pit bulls was arraigned today following a deadly dog attack more than 2 weeks ago in Roseville. Jason Colthorpe live tonight there with more on this charge. And Jason, also what else the defendant is now asking for. Jason.
Devin, she's charged with a felony, and if you can believe it, she's already asking the court for a hearing to get her dogs back.
It was an awful dog attack on a woman and her dog as they walked around dinner time on October 5th near the corner of Cathy and Frazo Streets in Roseville. 2 large dogs, a 60-pound pit bull and a 120-pound pit, charged a 45-year-old woman and her 10-month-old beagle named Bella. She was bitten badly on her legs, and the dog was killed.
She was actually laying on top of the dog, screaming and helping, saying, "Help me, help my dog."
Mark Billings was one of several neighbors that day to jump in and help.
The dog didn't have a chance.
Roseville detectives immediately identified the dogs, which lived nearby, and today they were surrendered and their owner was arraigned.
You're here for an arraignment, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
48-year-old Deanna Trenchmontagne was charged with 1 count of having a dangerous animal causing serious injury, a 4-year felony.
It's alleged that you were the owner of a pit bull.
Trenchmontagne has a record over the last 2 decades of several drug charges, including maintaining a drug house.
Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. If I may speak.
No, Ms. Trenchmontagne, we are simply getting arraigned.
Quickly shut down by her attorney there, and shortly after that, her attorney asked the court to file a motion for a hearing on her getting her dogs back. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. In the meantime, she was granted a $5,000 personal bond. In Roseville tonight, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Hey, Jason, thank you. A plan to steal cars from a Wayne County rail yard ends with 1 man dead. This happened early this morning in Huron Township. Police say a group broke into a CSX rail lot near Pennsylvania Road and I-275 and stole 6 new cars. 1 car went into a pond as the thieves were trying to drive off. 1 man died. Police did not say how that happened. CSX Rail says 3 of the stolen cars have been found. The investigation continues.
Police release a man taken into custody in a deadly shooting at a gym. Police say they released a CPL holder who shot and killed a 26-year-old man at Basketball City in Roseville Tuesday. Police say it happened when the 26-year-old left the gym after an argument and came back with a gun. According to police, the CPL holder was not involved in that original argument, but ended up shooting the 26-year-old. The investigation goes on.
Still ahead, the FDA approves the first drug to treat COVID-19.
We'll have a look at who's eligible for the treatment that is now available in hospitals nationwide.
I said, are you going to come arrest my son at my home or try and fine me for not getting into his Zoom class on time, perfect every day?
A father says his 12-year-old son was late to Zoom class. The letter he then received threatening his son's arrest.
But first, President Trump pressed about Governor Whitmer during an interview with 60 Minutes. What he had to say and how the governor is responding next.